It's sizzling. Why is it sizzling? It sounded good until I started looking at it. Something tells me there's a little bit of artificial color in there. It smells worse than it tastes. It actually doesn't smell very good. Good morning on this lovely Wednesday morning. Decided to take an early walk today because it's been too hot in the evenings to do so. Also, I'm trying to get myself moving because I got a little bit slow this morning. I've noticed that there's kind of a correlation between how busy I am for the day and how slow I am to wake up. If I have a lot to do for the day, I'm usually like stumbling out of bed. Oh, I don't want to get up. If I have nothing to do for that day, I'm out of bed immediately. It's funny, I had that conversation with my dad back in the 80s. I was like, Dad, how come on work days at 7 o'clock in the morning, you're stumbling around and barely able to keep your eyes open? But on the weekends, you're up at 5:45 doing yard work. His response was, that's because on the weekends, it's my time. I'm not sure that's an exact answer for my question, but I get it. But on my agenda for today, I'm kind of double dipping. I've got some Freakin' 2 taste tests to do, and I gotta film some other tests for Freakin' Reviews. What's funny though is I was looking back to what I was doing this time last year. On this date last year, I was doing a Freakin' 2 test involving popcorn, which I'm doing today. And this week last year, I was doing an overpriced shark fan for Freakin' Reviews, which I'm doing this week as well. And yet I don't have a feeling of deja vu whatsoever. You'd think I would, I don't. But because it's kind of a busy day for me, I woke up kind of slow. So I'm hoping this walk gets my blood pumping. Even if it doesn't, it's still nice to be out this morning. Puppy. Okay. It's time for a Freakin' 2 cereal taste test. Today's 2 cereal choices come from completely different eras. One of them is a 19th century concoction, and the other one came out in May of 2026. Let's start with the modern cereal first, and that is Cinnamon Toast Crunch Root Beer Float. Here is the packaging itself. I mean, it's kind of cool looking. You have your normal Cinnamon Toast Crunch logo, root beer float there. But they have it basically looks like Cinnamon Toast Crunch floating in a root beer float. Down here it just says crispy sweetened whole wheat and rice cereal. That's it. And here's the back. It's supposed to taste like a root beer float with Cinnamon Toast Crunch added to it. Root beer float flavored with other natural flavors. We shall see about that. I like Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I like root beer floats. Put together, probably it'd be all right. There's nothing in those 2 flavors that really conflict, so they really shouldn't be that bad. Let's take a look at this now. At first glance, it looks just like Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Nothing really exciting to see. I can smell the root beer. It's kind of a fake root beer smell though. Let's try one without the milk first. The root beer the first taste is like that root beer candy, which is pretty close to the actual taste of a root beer soda. But to me, I feel like more like root beer candy than root beer soda. Not that that's a bad thing. The flavor works pretty well. If you're a purist and you love root beer, you might think root beer candy. Let's try this for real now. Pretty standard breakfast cereal fare here. Let's give it a taste with milk now. You know what's interesting? When you add the milk to it, it tastes less like root beer. Because when I taste it by itself, it tastes like Cinnamon Toast Crunch and root beer. Root beer float, that requires some sort of a cream or vanilla flavor to it. I didn't get that. I was thinking maybe the milk would fill in, but now the milk is actually competing with the root beer and making it taste less like root beer. When you add the milk, the root beer is more of an aftertaste. It kind of comes at the end. I like the taste of this. I'm not sure that with milk it's different enough from Cinnamon Toast Crunch to really keep buying it. But it's interesting. It's a bit gimmicky, but it's kind of interesting. I would say pros and cons. The pros is it does taste like root beer. It is tasty. I think they capture the flavor of root beer pretty well. The cons would be that when you add milk, it tastes less like root beer. The root beer flavor is a bit artificial, and I don't really get the root beer float more than just root beer itself. Overall, it's pretty good, but I'm not sure it's different enough from regular Cinnamon Toast Crunch to make it a permanent. Those are my opinions, and they'll probably change after I finish this bowl. But let's move on to the next item now, which is a little bit older recipe than May of 2026. Next up is a concoction that's been around for maybe a couple hundred years, and that is making popcorn into breakfast cereal. That's right. So it's pretty simple. All you do is add milk and some sugar to some popcorn. Will that be good? I don't know. I've heard kind of mixed. The few people I've seen online who've actually tried it, some people liked it, some people grew up with it, some people couldn't stand it. Here's my take. For what it's worth. Adding some popcorn to the bowl. I'm not going to add a lot. Popcorn, check. Will this be a good cereal? Let's find out. I'm really curious about this one. And isn't it going to get soggy like really fast? It's sizzling. Why is it sizzling? All right, add a little bit of sugar here. There it is, my breakfast cereal. I better eat it fast. All right, here we go. I don't know, man. This is It sounded good until I started looking at it. I'm not sure I really like the way it looks. Here we go. Why is that so bad? It smells worse than it tastes. It actually doesn't smell very good. No. For some reason, my nose, smelling that popcorn with the milk and the sugar together, almost smelled a little bit like a rotten egg. The milk is good. I just bought it last night, and it tasted fine on the Cinnamon Toast Crunch. That was not very good. The texture was awful. The taste was awful. There's nothing good about that. People might pine away for the old days, but maybe you don't want to go too old, because I'll take 2026 Cinnamon Toast Crunch root beer float any day over that. Just out of curiosity, what if I combine the two of these? Low expectations, but curiosity is getting the best of me. A little bit of this. That's what we got, pre-milk. Let me just try them together without the milk. Not terrible. It kind of works. It actually makes the popcorn taste like, not caramel popcorn, but something kind of along those lines. Okay, like a candied popcorn. Not bad. Let's add the milk. A little bit of sugar. Mix it up here. Oh, it's just the popcorn just starts like disintegrating and fizzes in the worst possible way. Here we go. Cinnamon Toast Crunch is fighting a good battle there. It's trying to bring the popcorn up to a palatable level, but it's losing. If my mind focuses on the Cinnamon Toast Crunch, it's actually pretty good. As soon as I start thinking about some of those popcorn pieces, they get slimy. They get kind of gooey. It's almost like a sulfur egg kind of vibe going on with them, the way they smell. I don't know what happens to popcorn, you add milk to it, but it ain't good. When you combine the two of these, the popcorn degrades the Cinnamon Toast Crunch, but the Cinnamon Toast Crunch improves the popcorn a little bit. I wouldn't recommend it though. On my way to taste test number 2 now. But man, I can't get over how bad that popcorn and milk was. There's nothing good about it. If you're ever eating a bowl of popcorn, grab a handful and add some milk to it, and tell me if it doesn't stink. It smells like, it has almost an eggy smell to it. I'm not sure of the science behind that, but my nose was telling me it was eggy smelling. I didn't like that at all. But I'm pretty confident that the next set of taste tests will not be that bad. While I'm waiting at the drive-thru here, I thought of something funny that happened years ago. This is when social media and Facebook was still kind of a newish. So I had this ex-girlfriend. I hadn't seen her in a couple years. We hadn't spoken or anything. So all of a sudden one day, her Facebook status says, James White. I think what happened was she was trying to stalk my profile by doing a search, but she accidentally put it as a status instead of a search. And she didn't know how to remove it. It stayed up there. I think I ended up liking it. But she never responded. I don't think we ever talked again. If you're gonna stalk someone's profile, just make sure you don't make your status instead. All right, it's time for freaking 2 taste test 2. We have 2 more interesting flavor combinations. In this round, we combine KFC lemonade with prickly pear, and we combine Pringles with Carolina pulled pork barbecue. 2 more flavor combinations that both sound pretty good, actually. I'll do the drink second so I can wash down my pulled pork Pringles. So let's try these out next. They say I think they mean it's pretty mild. Carolina pulled pork, naturally and artificially flavored. I mean, it sounds pretty good. What do you guys think? To me, it sounds pretty good. All right, here we go. That's always satisfying. I mean, it doesn't really look anything special. Oh, it kind of has a pulled pork smell to it. That's a good sign. Sometimes, you take a sniff, you're like, I don't know what that is, but this smells like pulled pork. Very interesting. Here we go. First taste. It's tangy, a little bit smoky. Almost a mustard flavor to it. Wow, that's a complex and pretty delicious flavor. Wow, they totally nailed this one. They nailed it. Perhaps because I had slightly low expectations, and perhaps because the popcorn cereal was absolutely horrific, this is really jumping out at me. I'm gonna polish this thing off. It doesn't have a chance. You have no chance against me. They knocked this one out of the park. You like pulled pork? That's good. The flavors are all there. It's very balanced. It's quite delicious. That's one of the better Pringles I've had. Good job, guys. But now let's move on to the final taste test of this video, the KFC Prickly Pear Lemonade. All right, Colonel, don't let me down on this one. I mean, it looks pretty good. It's very bright. Look at the color of that. Something tells me there's a little bit of artificial color in there. Just a hunch. But Colonel, hook me up. All right, here we go. I'm kind of curious about this one. Not surprisingly, it's quite sweet, but that comes with the territory when coming to lemonade. You definitely get a lot of lemonade in there, but there's almost this like candy kind of sweetness to it, which isn't bad. Has a bit of a maybe watermelon, or I can't say I'm real familiar with prickly pear, so I'm just kind of trying to grasp at what other flavors my mind can latch onto. Kind of a strawberry watermelon. It's very good. Kind of a strawberry watermelon is like where the closest I can come to. It's got to be loaded in sugar, which means I can't drink all that. But there's a tartness to it that's very good. It's very flavorful. There's a lot of almost a floral taste to it. It's almost floral. If you like sugary drinks, if you like fruity drinks, if you like lemonade, if you like watermelon, pear, strawberry, absolutely give this a shot because it's quite good. If you're trying to reduce your sugar intake, I would run to the hills and stay away from it. Although one sip is certainly worth trying it out for because they definitely nailed this one as far as flavor goes. There's kind of a lot of flavors going on in there, and my brain is trying to pick them all apart. It's like when you shred a document and you're trying to put it back together. I know there's a lot of different flavors in there. There's kind of a lot going on, and my mind wants to kind of attach it to something, but maybe it can't. But I do like this. I think it's excellent, despite the high sugar content. Let me combine these two together. Carolina barbecue pulled pork with KFC prickly pear lemonade. It should be worse than that. I didn't hate it. Yeah, I like that more than I should. The cereal was a good starter, but these knocked them out of the park. I'm a big fan of both. And with that, the taste tests are over. Back to the vlog. I just don't know how they got a full pulled pork sandwich taste in one chip. That's pretty impressive. Man, I fell asleep. You know how that goes. I went down for a short nap and I woke up like an hour later, man. It's gonna throw me off all day. But I called my sister for her birthday today and she asked me what I was doing for my birthday, which is next week, which I kind of forgot was even happening. I don't usually make a big deal about my birthdays, but sometimes it isn't a good excuse to go do something. Will I do something for my birthday? I don't know. One thing I will say though is when you get older, when you're young, you look forward to your birthdays. But as you get older, you're kind of glad they're over. Then it's like, oh good, I don't have to worry about this again for another year. I don't have to worry about being another year older until another year from now. So I'll be 58 this year, and that's hard to believe. But I say that every year. And this is the youngest I'm ever gonna be the rest of my life, so I might as well enjoy the youth of my old age. And with that, it's time to get back home and back to editing. Lots of fun. Well, that's about it for this day. I was trying to decide if today was a success or a failure because I got everything done that I needed to do before 12, and then I got almost nothing done after 12. At first I was thinking, oh man, I had so much momentum and I stopped. But then I was thinking, I only worked half a day and I got everything done. I think it's a success. It just didn't feel that way at the time. But looking back, I'm kind of glad it worked out that way. By the way, I've eaten about half of that can of Pringles already. I'm definitely a fan of those. So if you see those when you're out, definitely pick them up. But I'm gonna call it a day. I think I've done enough for one day. I hope you've had a great day as well, and I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you next time.